Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to be giving you guys the top 5 best pick for the Clash lane. Now in a previous video, I have already talked about the top 5 mages, and this is going to be the Clash lane, and jungling, support and farm laners are yet to follow. One thing that you need to know about Honor of Kings is that the fighters are generally strong. The tanks and fighters are the strongest heroes in the game in my opinion because of the stat scaling. I don't know how it is different from AoV, but you will be able to feel it yourself when you play the game. So pretty much every single Clash laner is strong. So it was really hard for me to bring this 5 to be the top 5. And you guys might have different opinions, and I would love to hear that from the comments. But nevertheless, these are the top 5 in my opinion, and yeah, let's get right into it. Starting off the list at number 5 is none other than Kaiser. Kaiser is a fan favorite hero because of how simple he is and how much value he can provide. A lot of beginners like him more than the other Clash laners just because of how tanky he is and how straightforward he is. There will be a lot of 1v1s happening in the lower leagues, especially in the gold leagues, the platinum, the silver, where DS lane is supposed to be the dual lane where both the enemies fight, and since Kaiser's kit is built so that he will excel in 1v1 situations, especially with his passive, because he will deal more damage when he attacks only one target. So Kaiser has an edge when he is fighting 1v1 against most of the heroes, and that is why he is a popular pick in the lower ranks. The reason why he is not higher up in the list is because of his lack of mobility. Kaiser finds it so hard to go close to the enemy because they can immediately run away when they see him, and he does not have any reliable dash except his increased range from the second ability. That is why Kaiser cannot be any higher in this list, but when it comes to soaking up damage with a full tank build, Kaiser can be the best tank you can ask for, especially paired up with his ultimate, and he can provide decent amount of crowd control if he is able to connect his abilities onto the enemy. His first ability also slows them down, heals him up, and overall I would put him at number 5 in the best Clash laner list. At the number 4 spot, we have Fuzi. Now Fuzi is a very interesting pick because of his ability, which is very unique in the game. There is no other ability like that. He will literally tie you up in place for the next 5 seconds, and even if you use your flash or any other dash, you cannot escape from his ultimate. He will just stand there and attack you and kill you after he ties you up to that pole. So this mechanism is very broken because of one thing. Let me tell you why. Sure, it gives you an advantage when you are fighting 1v1 and when the enemy is low, they will try to escape, but that is when you use your ult and kill them. That is the basic thing. But the advanced thing that mechanism provides is that when your jungler is coming near your lane, if you ult and tie up the enemy, both of you can easily kill that enemy together. You might be losing in 1v1, you might be losing the lane, they might be dominating you, but when your jungler comes close to your lane, just tie that enemy and ping your jungler, come attack. So for the next 5 seconds, the enemy will be standing right there, and 2v1 you have the advantage and you will be able to kill them. This is why Fuzi is very broken, just because of this one mechanism. And also he can hold his ground in a 1v1 against Kaiser and all the other Clash laners because of his damage reduction from his second ability and his true damage capability with his passive. So overall, he can pretty much kill any DS laner, any Clash laner in 1v1 situation, and just because he has the ultimate advantage which can tie the enemies for 5 seconds, making them unable to escape, we have ranked him higher than Kaiser at number 4 in our list. At the number 3 spot in our list, we have Dharma. Dharma again suffers the same problem as Kaiser. He will find it hard to close the gap between him and the enemy. That is why playing him in the Clash lane gives him the advantage of using the flash. Don't use the execute, don't use the sprint, always use the flash, because if you use the first ability and flash as a combo, he can pretty much gap close between any enemy. He can go quickly to the back line, and what he does with his ult, smash all the enemies towards a wall, and the second ability is an endless barrage of punches and the enemy will die. The reason why he is at the 3rd spot is because he will wipe out the entire enemy team if he manages to connect one proper ultimate. That's right guys, one fight can change the entire match if Dharma manages to engage properly, stun 2-3 of the enemies and then finish them off. But one downside to Dharma is that after mid game, like after 8 minutes into the game, he will easily lose 1v1 to most of the other clash laners. So Fuzi can easily kill him, tie him up and beat him out. Kaiser can easily kill him, but Dharma is not a fighter, like not a 1v1 fighter. He is built to fight in a team fight. He will engage, he will crowd control a lot of enemies, he will be of so much value and damage, and that is how he has to be played. And that is why he is at number 3 in our list. At the number 2 spot, just missing out on top, is Sanchi. Now this might not be a surprise because of how powerful his ultimate is. Again, ultimate has become the most important ability, as it should be, right? And Sanchi's ultimate is very unique in sense that it provides him so much mobility. He can travel from the clash lane all the way to the bottom lane in a matter of 10 seconds, while it will take 30 seconds for other heroes to travel. Not just that, he can also take a teammate with him. So let's just say the jungler goes to help Sanchi first, they kill the enemy clash laner, then both of them can travel with the ultimate of Sanchi all the way to the farm lane, and they can fight there and win the fight as well. So this mobility alone is enough to put him so high on this list, because that is something that clash laners have always lacked, since their lane is so far away from where the fight actually happens. Most of the fights happen in the farm lane, but clash lane is so far away. But him having this ultimate allows not only him but also a teammate to come with him all the way to the farm lane and show the number advantage and win the fight. So that is why he's at number 2 in our list. To nobody's surprise, all the way at the top we have Charlotte. Charlotte has damage reduction, area damage, she has good mobility, she has some ranged damage as well, and she has a lot of healing. Charlotte can win lane and dominate most of the clash laners, not allowing them to farm at all. She can show her early game strength in 1v1 and force the enemy to play passive, and from the mid game to the late game she can be a menace in team fights. It's so hard to stop her. Even with a full tank build, Charlotte deals a lot of damage, and every time she triggers her passive where she draws the star, she gains damage reduction, and it's an area damage ability. So Charlotte has pretty much everything that a clash laner needs. She can dominate early, she can dominate team fights in the late game. She also manages to provide very good crowd control if she manages to connect her ultimate on a bunch of enemies, and that is why she is at number 1 in our list. Now, before ending the video, I would like to say why I didn't include a few of the more popular clash laners in this list. Let's start with Byron. Sure, Byron is strong, he can one-shot enemies, but the problem with Byron is his lack of range, in my opinion. He finds it so hard to go close to the enemy. Yes, you can say use your flash. If you have flash, it will be easier for you to go close, but then flash is the only thing that he has. Dharma, on the other hand, has the first ability, and he can pair it up with flash to go very far into the enemy team and attack them. But Byron doesn't have something like that. All the other heroes in the list have something to gap close between the enemy, but Byron doesn't. And also his weapon range is very low. He will only attack enemies who are very close to him. He doesn't have anything to catch up to enemies, but he doesn't have a weapon that can attack far away. So in case of Fuzi, he can pull enemies towards him, thereby he can easily close the gap. He can use the second ability to run faster. Same can be said about every single hero on the list, but that is where Byron lacks, and that is why I didn't include him in our list. Next, Ukyo Tachibana. Tachibana is surely a very pain in the A type of hero. He is a very good harasser. He can deal decent amount of damage, but he is countered by every single warrior in the game. He is good at attacking the mages, the marksman. He can ambush, he can use his range advantage and attack. He has his mobility to run away. He has all that, but he doesn't have what a clash laner needs, and that is the ability to split push and also the ability to be good in team fights. He has both of that, but he doesn't do good in both. He is decent at fighting in teams, he is decent at split pushing, but he doesn't excel in neither. So jack of all trades and prince of none. So that is the case with Tachibana. Guan Yu, again, I would surely want to put him on the list, but he is insanely hard to play. He will easily be stunned and cancelled. But if you manage to play him well, he'll definitely make the top 5. That is something I can say. Let me know what other heroes you think deserved a spot in the list, and I will give you my reason as to why I didn't include them, because I have looked at every single hero and I have a reason why I have these 5, and I have a reason why I don't have the others as well. So I would be glad to reply to your comments. And yeah, that's going to be it for the video, guys. The other 3 top 5s will be following in the future. I hope you all found this video entertaining and helpful, and if you did, make sure to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button. I hope you all have a really great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.